So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope. Is anybody there? Maybe refresh. Do we got to refresh? Come out. Let's go out all together. I don't know why. I can't find it. There it is. That one is. I don't know. Why am I not live? Maybe if I refresh this. Oh no, cancel that. I think we're firing up. We're firing. Firing up. Yay. Here we go. It took a while. That's surprising. I thought that would just be more or less instantaneous. But not. So how strange is that? Oh well. I know that most of you probably in an ad. So this is an ad for hobbyrocks.co.uk, the best yarn store in the whole world. Also ships worldwide. Shipping is weight-based and taxes and duties are all included. The lower the smaller the order, the lower the cost. And if you're in the UK, well, just load it up. How's that for an ad? I think it's rubbish. I don't know. Maybe I need a more glossy kind of approach. What do you say? Well, you probably say, well, I don't know how rubbish that was. I wouldn't blame you. Okay, let's see. Who do we got? Jennifer Ruckle, hello. And got to lay down. I'll catch the replay. Oh, no. Maybe you could just look like this. No, they give you nightmares. Annie Ames, hi. And me. And Crafty Paula. Hola, Joe. Welcome. Hi there. Well, I didn't plan this. It was just we went shopping, Gary and I, only to get a few bits of groceries that we needed. And I was at a loss. I thought, I have no ideas. I know it's Christmas and I've been a bit under the weather and all that sort of thing. And I just thought, what can I do this afternoon? I know I haven't done a live stream for a while, so let's do that. And so here I am. Emma. Hello, Emma. Welcome. Don't forget the thummies, guys. I do see I have some thumbs already. 7. So that's cool. So how are you? How are you all after Christmas? Have you all got over it? Are you still stuffing your face? I know I am. We've still got tons of stuff. And this is serious, right? I'm getting to the stage where I feel like I don't want to put another thing in my mouth. But I've got to because there's so much stuff left. And I think, should I just chuck it out? Or will I afterwards think, why did you do that? You didn't eat this, you didn't eat that. But I do feel like I'm slowly killing myself with food at the moment, like I'm just a big stuffed bird myself. Hi, Love Crochet Babe. Louise from Florida, how are you? Good, I hope. Don't forget the thummy. So welcome in. More the merrier from Florida, but it's nicer there than it is here. It's not raining today. It's just one of those overcast and cold kind of blah days. It's not as cold as it has been, though. At least there's no wind, so we shouldn't moan, but there's no sun. So it's just a bit of a day, if you know what I mean. One of those days where you don't see the sun, so you feel sad. But it's not too bad, really, in terms of how it could be. It could be worse. But, it's just not. I want to see the sun now. Having said that, I've just come back from my holiday, so I shouldn't really moan because I saw the sun. I've just taken a photograph of my chat. I didn't mean to do that. I'm really rubbish at this. Delete screenshot. There we go. Teresa, hi. Now I need to send you your winners from Teresa won my members giveaway. and I need to send it to you. So I've saved, you sent me that lovely happy mail. I think your address is on there. So I've kept that bag, but hopefully I can read it, because, you know, I noticed that sometimes when people write in cursive and stuff, can't always figure it out. So maybe you could send me your address so I make sure I got it perfect, and I'll get that sent off. I haven't ordered to pack, so it'll be sent off pretty soon. So yeah, well done to you. It's do you want to see it? It's here somewhere. It is this. The other one's gone. The other one who won, it was one of these, a little amigurumi set. Now I know it's not Christmas anymore, but you know it's coming back, don't you? You know it's coming back, so that's not a bad thing. It'll be for next year now. Hi Cindy Lulu, welcome. No, you're welcome. Thank you for that happy mail. So yeah, I did put out some feelers yesterday. I haven't had a chance to read my messages yet, and plus I think it only went up this morning, of what can I do, might have been the day before, what can I do with my beautiful yarn. So, you know, I kept thinking maybe I could do something with all of them and just, you know, do lots of different colours, like maybe a blanket with lots of colours in it, but I need to tie it together with a yarn. Or what can you make with one, so that I could maybe just do a couple of colours in the blanket, 2 or 3 maybe, and do something else with the others. So I'm still thinking about it. Hi Valerie Knitter Hands, not like scissor hands, but knitter hands, and you're from New Jersey. So what's the weather like in New Jersey? And Jeanette, hello, thank you very much. Yeah, I always feel like when I'm on a live stream, the worst, you know, when I do a video, I can make myself look more presentable. When I do a live stream, it's like, it's like what you get is what you get. So, yes, watching from Nova Scotia, Canada. Isn't it wonderful? It always blows me away that we're all these different places all over the planet, and here we are all talking together. It still knocks me out, and I've been doing this for many years now. Well, I'll say many, some years now, and it's still like every time just blows me away that here we all are chatting in this one room, and yet we're far flung. So did you all have a good Christmas? What did you do? Did you see family? Did you go out? Did you stay home? Did you have a quiet one? We went to my son Paul's house, and we have never been away for Christmas in all the years we've been together. We've always, there was a couple of times we didn't have Christmas together because Gary's mum was around then and he didn't want to leave her, so he spent Christmas Day with his mum. But on those occasions, we would have our own Christmas Day. So, you know, I would come over and we'd have Christmas Day with his mum, and then I'd have my Christmas at home with my kids and stuff like that. So, yeah, when we've done that, but since we've been actually living in the same house, we've never gone to someone else's for Christmas before. It's just not happened. Lots of people have come to us, and we've gone to other people on Boxing Day and that sort of thing, but Christmas Eve, but we've never done that. It was the first time ever, and it was really good, actually. It was nice, absolutely lovely. Hi, Shelley. I'm not going to pronounce that very right. I mean, I just know. Mick, you have to tell me how that's pronounced. I don't want to butcher your name. But hi, Shelley. Welcome. Don't forget the thummy. I'd say, I don't know if that makes an A sound, like McGay. McGoy. I don't know. You have to run that one by me. I've not seen those sounds together before in that context. So it would say "oh" if it was something like words with those, you know. Oh, it doesn't with people, does it? But they get like geography. I want to know now. Like McCoy, but with a G. So McCoy. I got it all wrong then. Well, no, now So welcome. Don't forget the thummy and Smogsy. I didn't see you there. Watching from cold, miserable Manchester. Sorry, Sarah. Well, it's cold. It's cold and miserable in the southeast in Kent, but not rainy, just horrible. Just a blah kind of day. We need the sun to come out, make everything look a little nicer. But even the cat doesn't want to go outside, and she's usually okay. She's sort of, I've even seen her go out in a storm. I mean, it did throw me a bit that she wanted to. I thought, oh, I'm going to open this door, but you're not going out. And she went, phew. Look, fine. But now she's not going anywhere. She's just not going out. She's just boring, sitting on a box. She's got a box that she likes to sit on, and I think the cardboard is kind of warming. And I bought her beds, fluffy ones. One that looks like a cocoon, goes nowhere near it, sits on a box. Might as well just save my money. The amount of times I've bought her beds and I've given them to Lee next door for her cats, she just doesn't want to know. Welcome to Young Princess of Rocks. Wow. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. That is so kind of you. A new member, guys. I don't have one of those fancy songs. I could sing to you, but then that'd probably just cancel your membership right away if I did. But yeah, I don't know how that works. You know, I won't say I'm a dinosaur, because I live streamed long before there was StreamYard and all that stuff. But and I got StreamYard before everybody else, because there was this one person that I was friends with who used to have a motorhome, and she did a live stream for that, and she used to have people come up, and she said, get live stream and come up. So I get the StreamYard. So I did, and I never did it, and it was long before anyone else was doing it. You know, I thought, what's StreamYard? So I got it, and she said, when you come up, I'll send you the link and you just pop up. And I never ever did it, and so I had it all that time, never used it. And I don't know how to do all that fancy schmancy stuff. No. I need someone to show me. Kathy, good morning. The weather here in Northern California is similar to mine. Cold, wet and dreary. It's not so much wet. It's just damp. You know what I mean? Nothing's drying up. It's just not raining though. So don't forget the thummies if you just come in. Went to the oldest pub in England for Christmas dinner, Stratford upon Avon. We had a brilliant time. First time I've not cooked in about 30 years. Hi, Debbie. Is it Graber? Welcome. Don't forget the thummies. So it's nice, isn't it? Because that's why not why we went. We went because we were invited. But one of them, it was the nicest thing for Gary, because he normally does our Christmas dinner, and is a far, far better cook than I am. Not that I'm bad, you know. If I make a roast dinner, everybody eats it and enjoys it. But if he makes one, it is like, whoa, that was amazing. There's a bit of a difference. So, because he's a perfectionist, and it'll be cooked and it'll be nice, but his just goes that extra mile. So anyway, with him working, he didn't work Christmas Day, but it was nice for him to not have to cook and have a day of just, you know, being waited on. So yeah, and next year I think he wants us to go for a meal to a restaurant. That'll be the first time. We'll have never done that before, but the restaurant he wants us to go to is very nice. It's not like it will be horrible. Broke a bone in your shoulder. Oh no. Well, I hope that heals quick. How on earth did you do that? That sounds very painful. I've actually, I mean, I shouldn't say this, touch wood, never broken a bone. Well, I think I broke my toe once, but they didn't even x-ray. Well, to be fair, I didn't even go to the hospital, because what happened was I was young, my kids were little, and we got out the car and there was a broken pavement sidewalk for you guys across the pond, but it was all busted and it was very icy, and as I slid, my foot went under, no, my actual leg went underneath me, and I sort of went crashing down on my toe. And it was angle, and it swelled, and it was black, but I didn't bother going anywhere because it was Christmas time. And it might have been Inbetweenmas like it is now, but coming up for New Year or something like that. And I just thought, I am not sitting in A&E waiting hours and hours and hours with all of the drunks and, you know, things that you normally get at that time of year in A&E, only to be told there's nothing we can do, just elevate it and rest it. I could tell myself that, so I never bothered. I just said, no, I'm not going to. And so I hobbled around Christmas and New Year, and eventually it went. So, but interestingly, my toes, when I did that with them, they always used to crack, especially my big toes, and that one never cracks anymore. So obviously something changed about it, but they weren't going to do anything with it. So I just decided I wouldn't put myself through that. I too much to do, too much cooking to do, too much stuff to do. Must have been just before Christmas then, but there was no way I was going to waste my time in there. It does sound painful. That was awful. So yeah, I had a frozen shoulder once. Well, I had two, and that was painful enough. But to actually have a broken bone, ooh, I've been very lucky. I had a bad fall about 6 months ago, I'd say, and we got a new bath, and as I got out of it, I had a shower, and I've got this thing that you can suck up water with. It's like looks like a squeegee, you know, but it's got a motor. It's a Karcher, and it sucks up the water. So I always clean my bath with it once I've had a shower, because the shower's in the bath. So I do that screen door, and I get all the water off it and the tiles. That way you don't get any of that mold and mildew build up, you know. I just get rid of it all. So I thought, I forgot to get it. And so I got out the bath to get it. And as I picked it up and I was going to get back in, my immediate thought was, be careful, this is going to be slippery. And whoosh, I crashed down on the bath side, which was quite tall. It's much taller than our old bath. And it got me between the legs sort of thing, but on one side. And the whole of that area, from one side of my leg all the way over to the other side, was black. You know, when you see those awful pictures of elderly people who've been mugged and their whole face is just like black and mauvey, that was what it was like. And it was like that on the top of my leg as well. When I was crashing down, I felt pain in the left hip, and where I just mentioned. I also, as I did that, fell into the bath, and I crunched my shoulder on the wall, and I hit my face on the wall. So I had several injuries, but and I can remember I was kind of fighting back tears because it hurt so much, and it really was so painful. And I messaged Gary. I just had a bad fall in the bathroom, and he said, "Do you want an ambulance?" Because he works at the ambulance service. I went, "No, I don't. No, I'm not going." And for quite a while, my hip hurt when I walk. I was like, "Oh, I must have done something to that." But you know, I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't showing those areas anyway to anyone. But yeah, didn't go. So let's see, who else have we got? Kamish, welcome in. I like saying people's names as they appear. Had a fall and apparently broke his spine, but thought it was another flare up. I have chronic back pain that can be debilitating as flare ups. I found out it had been broken after an MRI. Wow. Hi, Karen. Welcome in. Yeah, I hope it's short. Hi, Tracy. What a wonderful name. How are you guys? Good, I hope. Don't forget the thummies. Don't forget the thummies. Mind you, if you're in an ad, I have to tell you in a minute. It's quite cold in here, actually. I do have a little heater there, and I don't always put it on. But if I put on the heating in the bedroom, it gets a bit too hot, so I can't win. I think I'm better off being tad cold. So I brought a few of these little Christmas presents in to show you. That I've been showing a few things on my vlog, but I forgot these. And so I've got some crafty socks. It's Crafting Queen socks. I'm not bossy, I am the boss socks. And one that says Kin socks again. So yeah, and a book that is for daily planner. Let's just have a little looky in here, because I always say I'm going to do this. I'm going to start doing planners and, you know, being a bit more organized. This is usually my plan, and then I do it for a week at best, a few days at worst, and then I forget to do the planner. But I'm hoping that it is actually just a book. I'm hoping it's just, you know, not too much in the way of structure. Oh, okay. So I've got like a little flappy list thing, and I've got another one and another little one. I think they're post-it notes, and then these ones say urgent and remember, so I could use those as tabs. So this is handy, because when I write my patterns down, that's a joke, I just scribble junky kind of notes rather than write patterns. Who's got time to write the pattern, right? I mean, I wish I did, but I'll write in my own speak, and then I'll do another one and another one, and then I might want one of them, but I could put little notes to show which one it is. That would be cool. So, and then I've got this as well to keep my place. So yeah, little bookie. I just forgot that. I also got bath stuff. So I have to have products that don't contain a thing called limonene, because I'm allergic to it. And so last year, Charlotte scoured the shops to find bath stuff and stuff without limonene. And this year, I got the same ones and a few others. So that's nice, because usually Gary and I get bath bombs, but we didn't do it this year. And the reason being, we didn't have time, because we had a trip to Rotterdam, Amsterdam, and Honfleur in kind of start of the winter, and then we had a holiday, and by the time we got back, it was perhaps 5 days to Christmas, and there was no time for shopping, and so we didn't get them. We didn't get any bath bombs at all. When we was in Amsterdam, we found a Lush, and that's usually where we buy them. So we had a little, because we had a bath, we thought, oh, let's see what they've got. And I was absolutely gobsmacked, because in Lush, now the prices have gone up in Lush, but you can get a really decent bath bomb between £4 to £6, right? They were 10 or 11 euros each. And it was like, what? You must be joking. I'm not paying that for a bath bomb. So we didn't buy any. And we didn't buy any when we got home. So yeah, don't forget the thummies if you just come in. Hi, Annika. And oh, nice book. It is a nice book. I like it. It is a good planner. Normally, when you find these planners, they're a little bit too structured. I can hear the kettle on. Oh, might have tea coming. Going to the doctor's afternoons. I suspect to have autism and ADHD along with both my kids. Do you know, I think, yeah, I don't know. I always think that I had something. I definitely think the boy's dad did. That's for sure. Hyper. He was always hyper. I was never hyper, but I do feel like I don't have the same attention span as, well, I don't anymore anyway. I definitely don't. But what makes you think you do? I think, you know, I have something because I don't think I'm in any way bipolar or anything like that. I just think I'm polar. And what I mean by that is there's a reason for me that everything is a joke and I'm always so buoyant. Why should that be? I shrug stuff off. It's not that I push them down and I don't deal with them, but I don't ever, very, very rarely do I get down. It has to be something absolutely dire for me to even be a bit down. And or sometimes I can get, a bit blue. There was a time a little while ago where something happened and I just couldn't make a video. Couldn't hide it. But it has to be something pretty massive. Usually I can brave face it and do it, but I don't know. I just feel like, my sister, she has depression, quite bad. She takes the highest dose of her medication. Can't give her any higher. And I've never had anything like that. But I think I have the opposite. I think I've got a joy out of life. Maybe, I don't know. Is it a disorder or is it just, am I lucky? I don't know. But have I said hello to everyone? If I've missed anyone, I do apologise. But yeah, sorry I didn't kind of plan this and announce it to the world. That's another thing. Very spur of the moment. Very rarely plan. And I feel sorry for Gary because he's a planner and he always wants a plan. And, he'll say to me yesterday, what are we doing tomorrow? No. What do you want to do? It's kind of, but I know he's always trying to galvanize me into some plan. And I always just say, see what we feel like, spur of the moment. That's me, spur of the moment. I must be a nightmare for him because I know he loves planning and he loves the structure. Poor sausage, you don't get it to me. Saw some videos and thought it sounded like me, so I went online and filled out all the forms and they used for assessments and highly pointed to me having both. Also, stories my mum told of how I acted. Hi Donna, welcome in. You with me and you feel lucky? Why am I so like? It's not that I don't care, it isn't that. I do care, and things do worry me, and things do, make me feel sad and stuff like that. But I just don't. I don't internalize it. I suppose it has to be something horrible, and that's when it does. I was diagnosed with bipolar years ago, but thankfully we found medication that works well. I still have mania and depression, but not so severe. I use the mania to get big projects done. I like that. Maybe I need that. You've seen the amount of whips and UFOs I have. Oh, the trouble with having a channel is that you do a tutorial and your thing you're making may not be finished. So there is a tendency to move on to the next, move on to the next, move on to the next. And those things that don't get finished, there's very little time to get them finished, if you know what I mean. But I still am working on a Captain America blanket that I'm making for Gary's niece. And it was fine because Gary's brother was away and he comes back today or yesterday. Bear with me, guys. A cup of tea, come in.
What's magic about the cup?
What? It just changes. So when
might smoke.
Yeah, I think it just all of this happens and
Happy New Year.
all of this, see lightning and lightning under the car.
Yeah.
I got
I'm going to put your heating off.
Well, I might in a minute if I get cold. But I got back to shut, please, babe. Got Back to the Future mug for Christmas, massive mug, but it's one of those colour changes. So when you put tea in it, you get all the lightning under the car and everything because it's reached its 88 miles per hour. But when a cup is this big, I don't always get to finish my tea because it gets too cold by the time I get there. So very rarely. Although I did get one for my birthday from the lovely Linda Fairbrother that says happy birthday on it. But I've got a feeling that was slightly smaller than this, and I managed to finish that one. But I've not yet managed to finish this one. It's just a bit big. Happy New Year, Gary. Bless him for bringing me in a cup of tea. That was nice. Oh, bless. No, he's a sweetheart. So, yeah, next year he does want to eat at Miller and Carter, which is quite a nice restaurant. We did go there for, well, actually, he took me, the last time we went was my birthday and Valentine's Day. We went to the Sunbourne Hotel for Valentine's Day, which we got as a Christmas present. But it was a Valentine's Day, and we ended up with a tasting menu. So on the way home, instead of going home, we stayed at the actual Miller and Carter have a little hotel. So we stayed there and we had dinner. So that was the last time we went, and he thinks it'd be nice to go for Christmas dinner. I don't know. I've never been to a restaurant for Christmas, but, you know, there's always a first. At least it won't be rubbish, if you know what I mean. Hi, Maureen from Ontario in Canada. Welcome in. Don't forget the thummies. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I don't know that we'll do it because I was saying to him, we have booked up a trip, not like the holiday this time, because that really messed up Christmas for my shop and my channel in a way. Although I managed to do videos while I was away, I didn't get to do all my tutorials that I was working on. There's one that went by the wayside. I got most of them done, but there's other things I would have got done. So yeah, we're not going for a massive holiday like that, but we are going to go to Christmas markets. So not this Christmas, but last Christmas we went to one. We went to two, actually. We went to Amsterdam, and we didn't actually go into Amsterdam itself. We went to a place, we went to The Hague, which was a little excursion. So we went to Christmas market there, and the other stop was Hamburg, and we didn't go to the Hamburg one. We went to a place called Lübeck and did a Christmas market there. So this time around, we're going to Christmas markets, and it is a place called Inbetweenmas, which is near Amsterdam, but not, it's next town up, Inbetweenmas. And then we're going to Bruges Christmas market, which is meant to be absolutely gorgeous, and Antwerp. So ones we've never been to, places we've never been. So that will be cool because I've never been to any of those, and the Christmas markets are supposed to be lovely. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I said, you know, if we're going to be doing the Christmas markets and a little trip, maybe we won't do going out. Maybe I'll cook the Christmas dinner. I'm not a bad cook. Serious, I'm not. It will be nice. It's just Gary's are better. Is that because other people cook better? You know, it always seems like when you have something cooked for you, it's better. Maybe, I don't know. Went out for last year for Christmas dinner, and you were disappointed. This year you were home with roast potatoes and such. Sounds like fabulous. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Miller and Carter, they're a very, very good restaurant. You know, they do steaks usually, and yeah, that's their speciality. They are more of a high-end steak restaurant, so they should do. And we've had their Valentine's Day menus a few times. Went out with Gary's brother and his partner once when they were together for Valentine's Day. Had a meal. I know there's we gate crashed their Valentine's, but it was all right. It was nice, and we went them a second time for something else. But yeah, I don't know what the Christmas menu will be like, but it's very chefy, so it should be good. Should be good, but it's whether we'll do it or not, because, you know, I don't know how much it costs, but I should imagine a fair bit. So we'll look into it. But we went out for a Christmas dinner. Oh, it was awful. Absolutely awful. But it was nothing like the price of a Miller and Carter. It was a little pub where, funny enough, when me and Gary first met, we met outside it. We met up there, and it was across the road from where I used to live, and they were okay for chips, you know, and things like chicken wings, and they've got a pizza oven, and I wouldn't eat the pizza, but you know, not a fan really of pizza. Not in the UK, would dry them out. Some of them are nice, but I can't eat the gluten now. So gluten-free bases, they leave a lot to be desired, so I really wouldn't bother. But you know, they're good for what they do. Not always, but mostly they're good for what they do. So Gary thought his son came down, and so that he wouldn't have to cook and miss out on seeing his son and having his daughter over, we would go there for a Christmas dinner, and it was disgusting. It really was. It was cold. The potatoes, you know, when you've got roast potatoes and you don't eat them all and you put them aside and then you might warm them up, they don't taste the same. They've got a weird taste about them. So that's what they were like. And I'd ordered extra of those because I thought you usually get a couple, and that's not really enough for me, not when it comes to potatoes. The only thing that was nice on that plate was parsnip, and I'm the only one who likes it. So I was like, are we going to complain then? What I really meant was, shall I complain? Because I'm the one, it would be down to me to do it. So the manageress walked past and I just said, excuse me. I said, I'm sorry, but it is awful. It's horrible. She said, oh, why? What's wrong with it? I said, they're all cold. The potatoes taste like they were cooked earlier and warmed up, and just really horrible. I said, well, everything, really. It's just all horrible. And she could see that we all had left most of it. So she said, oh, I'm sorry. She said, it's just the same as we have been doing. And I thought, I didn't taste that, did I? So I just said, well, it's not just one of them. It is all of them. She said, oh, I'll give you a really good discount when it comes to the bill. I went, okay. So they took it all away and we had dessert. And I thought, you know, if she doesn't give us a really good discount, I'm going to have the conversation again. Well, she halved it. It was kind of like, give us her discount. Like, they obviously get half price food. But, you know, to be fair, that was a big discount. It was £81.50 discount. So that's how much, twice that is what the meal would have cost, because there was quite a few of us. And I thought, Gary had paid £20 deposit, so we only had £60.50p to pay, and it wasn't worth that. You know, it really wasn't. But we paid that, and we just won't go in there for Christmas again. We'll go there for chips because they're good for that. Well, actually, we won't, because we'll be on diet soon. Won't be eating chips. So, hi, Carol. Yeah, I did. We had a great Christmas. I hope you did too. We went to Paul's, and Paul's mother-in-law was there. So Victoria's mum. So there was Paul and Victoria, and there was Teresa, who is Victoria's mum, and there was Alfie and Bailey, who are two sons from her previous relationship. Then there was Paul as well, and Harley, and there was me and Gary. So there was a house full, but it was perfect amount of seats around the table. It just fitted everyone in, and yeah, it was nice, really nice. And I made Purple Rain, which is a bit like my kind of signature cocktail, if you like, because I used to do cocktail nights, but I don't drink at all now. Ever since I had the cancer, I gave up drinking. Not that I drank much, but it was deemed a smoker drinker's cancer. And even though I didn't smoke and I didn't drink much, I just felt like I won't drink anymore because I don't want to invite it back ever. So I just gave it up at that point. But I used to do Christmas Eve, a cocktail night. And while I was cooking, I used to make cocktails for whoever happened to be around. So we had Purple Rain in our local pub. And it wasn't as nice as mine. But I took their take on it and thought, right, I'm going to make it similar. So I perfected my little recipe anyway. And I like it a lot. So I used to make cheeky Vimtos and Purple Rain and loads of gin ones with pineapples and orange and all kinds of fruits in. Really nice. Used to make one with limoncello, but yeah, don't get to do any of those anymore. So anyway, I thought Victoria always missed the Purple Rain because she was always driving home. So I figured once, actually, I did put some in a bottle, like a big bottle, and said, there you go, take it home. So she had it when she got home. But this time I actually took a jug, took all the stuff and made Purple Rains. So I made about 3 pitchers of Purple Rain. I didn't drink any. I just had tea and Coke. You know, I was a good girl. I was driving home. But yeah, we had a good time. What's on my t-shirt? It just it says, I'm okay. So a big that actually happened to me in here once, because I used to stack some packs of yarn and they were all stacked and stacked and stacked, and then one day I had an avalanche, a yarn avalanche. I know it should have been free. It wasn't worth what we paid for it, but you know, at least it wasn't 160, 170 pounds. But yeah, it was we live and learn. And I said to Gary, really, we should have realized that it wouldn't be a nice meal, because it's not that kind of restaurant, you know. We should have gone to a carvery who specialize in making roasts, but you know, live and learn. We won't be doing it again. Oh, that is hot, but nice. Yeah, so I got this mug from Paul because when he was growing up, we used to love Back to the Future, all of them. And so I bought him Michael J. Fox's book. He made a new one just in time for Christmas called Future Boy. And, you know, it's a bit of a quote from the movie. And yeah, so he didn't even know it existed. So he was quite chuffed with that. But it was weird how we both got each other a Back to the Future present, because it's not exactly new, is it? But yeah, we had a nice time. So I got some Pandora for Christmas, and what else did I get? I got loads, actually. Lots and lots of goodies. But I got Gary mostly jigsaw puzzles because he's really into them, and that's what he kept sending me all these links to them. Member for 12 months. Wow. Carol, thank you so much for being a member. And to my new member who popped up a little while ago, where are we? Shelley, welcome. And yeah, cool. 12 months. 12 months of wonderfulness. I've been watching a couple of channels lately, and I'm going to share them with you. They're not what you might think. There's not a craft channel amongst them, but I've been into, in a big way, all this stuff about 3i Atlas, and it has put me on to a couple of channels. I'm going to see if I can find them for you. So one is Ray's Astrophotography. So Ray is RAY''S, and Astrophotography. Now he's I think he's in, I want to say Texas, but he is I think he's Indian, and I don't want him to start talking. This in your car. There we go. But I'm going to put a link. I'm going to link him. I'm going to put links to these channels. So if I make a little note, just put Ray, and then I thought it said Roy for a minute. I'll paste that one. That's one channel that I've been watching, and he's got a telescope. And that was him. He's got a telescope, and he doesn't just do 3i Atlas. He does film all of the planets, new galaxies and stuff like that. He's lovely. He really is. So I've been watching this guy. I love this guy. His name's Tiago, and he's called Dobsonian Power, and he does live streams. And He's nuts. I love him. He's got a huge telescope now, and he got it set up yesterday. But he's been doing live streams with Free Eye Atlas on them and other things as well. But he has raucous live streams, which is what I like. And he has a voice changer, so every now and then he will make his voice funny. And he does for his members, because I was lucky enough to win a membership for a month, which will run out soon, sadly, unless I take it up. But he takes requests for songs. So when he does his live stream, he'll pick 10 and he'll play those as he's, doing his live as well. So this is Dobsonian. I'll put Dob. So I'm going to put these in the description box so that anyone who wants to follow these guys can. And the other one is Angry. Oh, not going to come up like that, is it? It's called the Angry Astronaut. Let's see if I can find him without. It's not coming up. Where are you, Angry? No, he does cover a lot of things. Let me see if I can find him. Angry Astronaut. There we go. And the Angry Astronaut, and he does a live stream called The Angry Alien. But I haven't gone over to the dark side, don't worry. But these guys are fun. Angry is not so much fun, but he's good for a lot of the things that he does are very interesting. And the one thing about Dobsonian Power is that he has been interviewing Avi Loeb. So he's the guy who I've been following. Doesn't have his own channel. If you ever see him in a channel, it's fake because he doesn't have one. And he does have interviews, but he doesn't have channels. So I've been watching them. Sorry, Trace, I made a spelling mistake. My hands are cold. Where are you? What did you say? No, I can't find it. 12 months already. Where has the time gone? That's not a spelling mistake. Oh, was it there? 12 months old already. Where's the time gone? No, what did you spell wrong? What did you spell wrong? I can't see it. I can't see it. Robot vacuum would be lovely, but I think I have too much furniture. Do you know what I really want? Hi, Diana. Welcome in. Don't forget the thunny. Charlotte has a vacuum cleaner. It's only, now it's not the brand of it is not one that you would associate with being high end. Is it Swan? I can't remember now, but it's a vacuum cleaner, and you put a little bit of water in the solution, and it washes your carpet as well as vacuum it. It's more or less dry when it's done, and you can just empty the little pot of water, and it talks to you. It does talks to you, and it puts itself on charge. It's just really space age. And she got kids, obviously, so they're always spilling stuff, and she got it out, and I went, that's amazing, that little tool. And I was going to buy one, but they never ever go down in Black Friday or anything like that, because they know what they're worth. And it was around there like the other day, and I went, oh, I never did get that Hoover. I'd really love one. They're brilliant. They really are. I can't remember what they're called though. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome in. Don't forget the thummy. Yeah, you finally caught me live. I don't do them that often now. I always say when I do one, I enjoyed that, I'm going to do more, and then it's months before, weeks, months before I do another one. I just think my life is just too busy. Has been lately, what with all the trips and all the everything that I was doing. It was just getting fast paced, and I thought, I can remember when I was young and I was a young mum, my life was breakneck speed. Always picking this one up, taking that one there. My partner was useless because he was the sort of person who drank. So he was never one for lifts. It was always mum's taxi. The only time he was ever any good was early. And then after a certain time, it was like, forget it. So I did all the driving, all the taking to clubs, picking up. you know, taking them to friends, doing this, that, and the other. Oh, so yeah, my life was, and the kids had such a hectic social life. I had none, but they had. My social life was just being their taxi and facilitator. That was it. So yeah, crazy. But funnily enough, a couple of days ago, Gary and I were shopping, and we called in one of the pubs up in Sittingbourne, sorry, in town in Queenborough, and it's called the Three Bridges, and it's the same chain where we had our disaster roast. So we just went in there because he wanted a drink. So we're sitting there. Well, as I was walking from the bar to my seat, I was walking behind this woman, and I thought, oh, I reckon I know her. It surely can't be Posh. We used to call her Posh. Posh Spice. So can't be Posh, surely. So I tapped her on the shoulder, and she turned round, and it did look like her, but older. So I said, sorry, I just thought you might be someone I know. And she said, maybe I am. And I should have realised it was her at that point. So I went to the bar, asked for a straw. They didn't have one. As I was walking back, I looked at her, and she was with a guy, and I thought, it's not her then. So I went back, sat down with Gary. We had our one drink, and then we were us leaving, and she stood in front of me, and she went, it is me. And I went, is it? She said, yeah. So like we had a hug. I went, you know why I didn't think it was you? Because you got the wrong man. She went, that's my brother. And then she pointed to this guy, Paul, who I was looking for in the first place. And he was Michael's football team manager when he was little. And so we had a hug and a real catch up. But it was such a blast from the past. And, you know, I haven't seen them for years. But they were like the same, just a tad older. But Paul didn't look much older, really, but less hair. That's all. So, yeah, those robot vacuums, Charlotte did used to have one of them going all over the house. They do look cool. You thumbed me. Thank you, Jennifer. I don't know how long I've been a member, but I have been following you for a long time, way before my op. There is if you go down to where you are a member, you can put up, it gives you one time, I don't know how, you can do it once a month, I think, or something like that. You can click from member milestone, and it comes up with how long you've been. So I don't know how to do it. I'll do it if I know how to do it. If I'm doing it, you know, I'll follow, but to remember how to do it is another matter altogether. So yes, hi everyone, just coming in. So yeah, don't forget the thumbie if you have just come in, and if I've missed anybody, I do apologise, but I've been babbling away in the corner, and my tea's just drinkable now, so that's good. I did bring water in just in case I didn't have a drink, but bless him, he did bring me one. Oh, so you planning anything for New Year? We're not, because Gary's working, and my son Paul, I think, is working as well, so they're not doing anything. And you know, so I don't really go out New Year. I've never been one of those people that did the whole going out, having a raging time at New Year, and you know, doing the countdown and snogging everybody inside. Never been one of those people. One year I did go to London and watch the fireworks. I was with this guy at the time before I met Gary, and he was an odd guy. He was a very, very odd guy. But that he did that every year, and so I went with him that year. It was the first time. And as I stood on the bridge waiting for the fireworks, I was the only English person on that bridge. Everybody else had different accents. I was talking to a French woman, and then everybody, even the person I was with, wasn't English. So I was kind of like, there's just so many nationalities on this bridge. And I couldn't find another person with my accent anywhere. It's just like weird. But yeah, that's the only time that I've ever done anything like that. Never really been one for parties. Only when I was a kid and got dragged along to stuff, you know, but never. Or when the kids were little, we were invited somewhere, but very rare. usually just stayed at home. And when the kids were little, my other half would be in bed because he like conked out hours and hours and hours ago, you know. And I'd just be sort of me and the telly, or me and the kids. So I've never really done very much for New Year anyway. I think just before I met Gary, I was hanging around with a girl called Nikki, and we probably went out. But it's nothing memorable because I don't even remember it. Ellie Cat, hi. You're celebrating your birthday with me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellie Cat. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Yes, many, many more. You don't do anything on New Year's, no. You did go to New York City once, one year, and that was really amazing. I bet it was, but it's not better than London. I'd love to go to New York at Christmas. I want to see that tree, you know, and all the shop windows, because seeing those movies when I was a kid, and you see Macy's windows and, you know, all those shops, it's what Christmas is about. And it's always in the movies, it always snowed and there was always this stunning tree, you know. That's kind of Christmases of years gone by though, isn't it, when I was young and sort of growing up seeing these movies. So whether it's like that now or not, I don't know, but you have this romantic image of it being like that. But that's what I'd like to do, step back in time really and go see it then. But it probably is the same. But I don't think it'll ever happen because I can't fly anymore. I'm just terrified of it. Absolutely. Yes, happy birthday. So what are you going to be doing for your birthday? Are you going anywhere, doing anything, just having a chill? Did you get anything nice for your birthday? So my birthday's February, and it's one of those times when, you know, most people are skint because all the winter bills start coming in January and February. But it's also 2 days after Valentine's Day. So Gary used to say, we won't do anything for Valentine's Day then, because it's, we will. You can't just discount it just because I was born 2 days after. You know, we've got to do both. So that's why we ended up. But we didn't used to do stuff on Valentine's Day. Things like Valentine's Day, restaurants and places, they shoot up the prices, don't they? And like New Year, they even start making you, if you want to go to a pub, you've got to have a ticket to go there. And I'm not a planner, you know, it's just not going to happen. Not that I'd want to anyway, because, you know, being sober around a load of drunks is really not fun, is it? I'm usually okay. I'm quite, you know, I can get drunk on Coke. I feel it sometimes, you know, a bit too, probably the caffeine giving me a bit of a, but I don't really need the alcohol to be stupid. I'm kind of a bit stupid anyway. But yeah, when everyone gets too drunk, it's not nice being around drunks, is it, when you're sober? So yeah, Valentine's Day is overrated. My sister used to live there and we would go up for visits. One year it was Christmas and it was a lot of fun. Oh, I bet that'd be nice. Yeah, I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do the New York thing, and I nearly did one year, but it never come off. Another thing I nearly did one year was go to Texas, not for Christmas, but just go to Texas, because I had a pen friend and she lived in Texas, and she knew back then I was a Dallas fan. I don't mean Dallas Cowboys, I mean, you know, J.R. Ewing, Dallas. And she said, come to Texas, I'll take you to South Fork, and we do this, we do that, we do this. And just at the time that I was going to book my flight, suddenly the interest rate shot up, and we had a house that we were paying for, and, you know, the recession bit, and it was like, oh, I can't really justify spending the money, you know, just in case, you know, we end up needing it. And so I never went, and it's always a big regret that I didn't go, because, you know, unfortunately my pen pal died young, so I kind of missed the opportunity to meet her. I met her daughter. Her daughter came to London. We met up, and she is the image of her. But I never kind of met her, unfortunately. And it is, big regret that I didn't do it. But, it was just a bad time in the world, in the country. Probably the world, because if it's our recession, it's usually everywhere. The rocket's marvellous. You'll see Song Blue and Emil being 4 days after Christmas. I get joint gifts. Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? So, no, Valentine's Day is separate to my birthday. I had a friend, his name was Steve. He was my next door neighbour. He was my gay friend. He's a great guy. And his birthday was Christmas. I used to feel so sorry for him. Like, Christmas Day. And, no one's going to, separate that. You're just going to, one of your Christmas presents is going to be for your birthday, isn't it? That's for sure. Talking to my brother in Finland, there used to be lots of, hang on. So it flashed up. Used to be lots of snow by Christmas, but nowadays, most years, there's none. You really see climate change in action. Yes, definitely. You definitely do. We have not had snow for years. The last time we had snow, I filmed it. And me and Gary went on a walk and he pelted me with a snowball. And it's actually, I think, on the channel somewhere. If it's not, it's on Rocksteady. But it was before the house fell in the sea, because we went for a walk up there and around, and the house fell in the sea quite a long time ago. But we did the whole circuit in the snow, did a snowy walk. That was the last time we had snow. We haven't had it since. Not at all. And I can remember the weatherman saying one year, if we don't get snow this year, we'll never have snow again, which I thought was a stupid statement, because they never know, freak weather. They never know. And they're saying it's going to get really, really, really cold. And we could be in for some wintry showers. But being in the southeast, it's very rare. If the country gets it, they get it up north more than here. And sometimes they get it out west. But we're southeast, and it's the warmest bit. So sometimes, if we're lucky, we might get a bit, but it is rare. When the kids were little, we used to get it for a week at a time. We'd be cut off or pretty isolated for a week, and then it will get cleared. And because this country's not geared up for it, So if we get a snowfall, everything closes and people don't go to work, and the whole country grinds to a bit of a halt because we're not geared up for it. Other countries that get it all the time have got snow tires and all kinds of railways that can get rid of snow and ice, and not ours. Ours can't even cope with a leaf or two. It shuts. You're just really bad at that kind of thing. So I suppose it's lucky, really, that we don't get it that often. Otherwise, if we did get it often, perhaps we would be better. It's freezing rain today. Oh, no, that sounds horrible. So it does. I can understand that it's hard here in Manchester, New Hampshire. That was a rough time, and your son's birthday was yesterday. Oh. When I was young, I used to live in London, then we moved here. And when we moved here, every year at first there was something. One year we got snowed in. The next year we got flooded. Not we didn't get flooded, but it would stop at the end of our road. And they were making the Thames barrier at the time. And that was probably the reason, because it was all getting pushed. But we would have these really high spring tides and strong winds, and the roads would flood, so that it was impassable where we lived. Couldn't get there, and probably wouldn't be able to get here either. So every single year, and it was always around my birthday, which is February, there would always be something. If it wasn't snow, it was floods, and it was depressing because I was a teenager, and I hated it. I hated living here. I vowed that the minute I could move off this island, I was going, and I did. And I only came back when I was an adult and I could drive. And I met Gary. That was the only reason I came back here. Lived on the mainland after that. Never came back here. But yeah, once you drive, doesn't matter where you live, does it really? See what I mean? I'm halfway through this and it is now getting cold. Mostly because I'm chatting, I know, but I can't seem to finish it. Well, I don't know. How long have I been talking for? I don't know how long I've been on. Oh, what's that say? Not sure. So, yeah, I'm going to get told off for not advertising it. I wish I was more, you know, structured in my life. I just can't seem to do it. I can't have a structure. I think, you know, for the longest time, I used to say that routine was like a dirty word to me. My computer's gone into like compartments. Hang on. Somehow. There we go. Yeah, it was to me, routine was a bad word. It was a 4-letter word like work, you know, just a nasty word that I didn't like at all. So I've never welcomed it. Even when the kids were little, they wanted food, they had food, they didn't have a routine. The only routine I liked was bedtime. That was the routine I insisted on, bedtime. Hey, Tracy. Sorry, you've been watching Stranger Things. Now you're watching even Stranger Things. On the South US, we drink cold, frequently sweet tea. Whoa. Tracy's been a member for 9 months. Hey, it's like having a baby. Tina, hello, Tina and Gertrude. Finally found me live. Yay. So how are you guys? Good, I hope. Well, don't forget the thummies if you just come in. We've been chatting all kinds of nonsense and talking about what we got for Christmas and all the stuff we've been up to and we're going to do New Year, which is probably nothing. Gary's working. And next year as well, he's only got 1 day off, which I think it might be Christmas Day, but I'm not sure. But it'll be his only day, so he doesn't want to cook. So he wanted to go out. That's why he wanted to go out. But yeah, good to see you, Tracy. And Tina. Did I say yes? I said hello to everyone else, I think. I believe. The tea's going cold because I'm talking too much. So yeah, I was just about to kind of start winding it up because I don't know how long I've been on. And yeah, unfortunately was moaning about myself not being a planner because I didn't plan it. And people say, I didn't know you were live. What am I making? I am making a Captain America blanket. So I'm doing this thing, which I've had a few weeks off of, called A Year of Granny Squares. And one of those granny squares that I made was a Captain America square. So I did it as a coaster and did it as a square. And Gary's niece, she loves Captain America. Well, she actually loved, was it Chris Evans, his name is. She absolutely loved Captain America anyway. So I was good. Once I made the square, I thought, I'm going to make Yasmin a blanket. So I made lots and lots of silver ones, little silver squares, red squares, blue squares, and white one. Well, I haven't made any white squares, but obviously it's got white in it. So I was going to do stripes of colour, then some of the Captain America squares, and then repeat that, or kind of do something in the middle and then mirror that first bit the other way. I'm not really sure, or whether to just do some go around in a square. I don't know. And then put stripes in. Kind of don't know what to do. But until I start putting it together, I won't have a clue. Because that's how, when I make stuff, I wing it. You know, when I make stuff for myself, I don't sit and draw it and think this is what it's going to look like. I just make them, have a sort of a rough idea in my head, and then start putting it together. Yeah, not a planner. Told you, not a planner. Unless I'm doing it for Crochet Rocks and a planet, obviously. So yes, good to see you too. Nothing on the hook at the moment, but not sure what to make next. A bit of a brick wall moment. Yeah, got that myself. I mean, obviously I've got to make the Captain America blanket, but I need to make something for the channel, and I need to think of what to do for the channel. What shall I make? Are you going to show it when you're done? Yes, I will. I might even do a tutorial because obviously, you know, I can do that. Hi, Orbs. Good to see you. Don't forget the thumbie. Thank you, Cindy Lulu. Have to go for now. Okay. Thank you for coming. So nice to see you. We found out on Christmas Day that my brother-in-law has stage 3 tongue cancer. Have half his tongue removed with lymph nodes. Made me think of me. You, me and me. Yeah, mine was stage 1, thank God. It was a T1. When I was very, very, very lucky. Because it seems to me that smallest changes in me, I notice them. And I just had COVID. I just had the Kent variant. There were no jabs at the time for it. When it went, I had a lingering sore throat. So at first I thought maybe I'd got long COVID. So I didn't think too much of the sore throat. I wouldn't go. It went on and on and on. Then I started getting this sore around here. And I have sharp teeth over this side and a gap. So that gap, my tongue kind of gets pushed into that gap because I've only got a little mouth. I know, I do though. So it was rubbing on it, and I thought maybe where I've got a sore throat, it's making my tongue more forward and it's catching my teeth. Anyway, so one time I looked in my throat and I had tonsil stones, you know, white patches. So at the time we had no doctors because it was lockdown. Just saying hello if I need to. It's not rare, you know. There's a lot of people that's coming up with it now. So yeah, I did these tonsil stones. So locum at the surgery, hardly any doctors left there. Said send me a picture. So got Gary to take a picture down my throat, and I sent them off to her, and she said, I'm going to send you off to Medway Hospital to what's it called? ENTs. So I said, oh, okay. So I got a call straight away because obviously lumps, they think we've got to rule out cancer. So I got a quick turnaround. So I went to see him, and when I got there, they said, oh, no, you're not seeing the ENTs, you're seeing head and neck. So I thought, oh, okay. So I got seen by head and neck who looked for cancer, signs of cancer. And they said, no, we're going to refer you back to the ENTs. I went, okay. So I then got another referral. In the meantime, this tongue sore started getting bad. So I called head and neck and I said, I've got a tongue sore I think you should look at. Send us some photos. Okay. So we took photos of it and I sent it in. I never heard any more, but I got the appointment through for the ENTs. So I turned up, put a camera down my throat, couldn't find anything, said, it's not cancer, but you probably got acid reflux. I thought, okay. They gave me very strong Gaviscon and omeprazole, which I hate taking, don't ever want to take that stuff. And I said, but I've got this tongue sore. Let's have a look at it. Okay, well, we're going to refer you back to head and neck with that. And I said, well, the thing is, I did send them pictures, but they've not really got back to me. Then I got the appointment through for head and neck. So I turns up at head and neck and they look at it and they say, that's a benign lesion. Nothing to worry about. It's not cancer, but we will biopsy it because we do everything. But that's just a benign lesion. So I said, okay. Turned up for the biopsy. Blooming hurt. Really did. And they said that the biopsy is worse than the op. I'd have to disagree, right? But at the biopsy, I was adamant this was cancer. I diagnosed it straight away as soon as I got the tongue sore. Tongue sore, sore throat equals, you know, cancer. And I'd read up on T1s, T2, I'd done it all. I'd read it all. And anyway, biopsy come back, wanted to see me. Went in and they said, really sorry, it did look like a benign lesion. They even wrote to my doctor saying that it was, you know, but it's not. it is cancer. And I said, right. And he said, 2 weeks' time, it's over. Whatever way you look at it. You know, I'm going to have you in. That's going to be gone in 2 weeks. So obviously, kind of don't know what to think, do you, when that word is bandied around. So anyway, 2 weeks' time, I was in, had the operation. Awful time in hospital. Only because my body's just, every time anything's done to it, it has to go through a multitude of infections and God knows what. It just can't recover like anyone else. So a week later, I was home recovering. But luckily, because of, you know, that sore and knowing it was something different and the sore throat and everything else, it got caught early, because usually dentists find it, but dentists were closed, so no one was seeing a dentist. So I was very, very lucky to catch it at T1. But obviously they took it, 49 lymph nodes as well, and everything was fine. But now Jane, who's Licorice's mum, she sent me links to this girl who had a tongue cancer under there. It was quite big. And her name was Rachel Morset, and she was on TikTok. We were following her journey. And when they took her in, they didn't take enough, and they didn't take hardly any lymph nodes. And I just thought, I had 49 for this minute one on the corner of my tongue. Hers was bigger. It was in a bit more intrusive place, right down there, at the base of her tongue. And they took a couple. I was lucky when they did a biopsy on all of mine, they were all clear. But, you know, that poor girl passed away within a year. But yeah, it is a hard one. I was lucky because it was small. They took 7 millimeters of tongue from the back to the front. And I did have a speech impediment, which I still do, but I hide it well. When every now and then scar tissue gets a bit inflamed in it, and I notice it and I hate it, really hate it. When you was a kid, you could not walk anywhere in winter because the snow was deep. You had to use skis, except when it was ploughed. Now it's never like that, and it can't be on ice. I thought, do you know what? When we had the snow, what year was it? Paul was born in 85. It must have been 86. We had a big snowfall. 86, 87. Must have been 86, I'd say. Anyway, could have been 87, just at the start. We had this really big snowfall. Where we lived was across the road from a park, and it had some lovely slopes. And we bought a sledge, and we got all these pictures of Paul in a snowsuit. And one of us would take him to the top of the thing and push him off, and the other one would be waiting at the bottom to drag him back up, and we'd switch places. So I'd walk down as he walked up, and then he'd push him down and I'd grab him, and he was just kicking his legs when it stopped, as I say, come on, hurry up, I'm enjoying this. And one of my neighbours had skis, so they said, would you like to have a go? And I said, yeah, sure. They're only walking skis. So I was doing quite well walking on these skis, and then all of a sudden I must have hit a rut and I fell backwards and I landed on the skis. I couldn't get up now because I was sitting on the ski. I was like, oh, how do I get up? I'm like, help. But yeah, never been skiing. We've got a dry ski slope, and I always said it would be nice to learn, and I've never done it, not to this day. A unisex baby tank top. Always check the things. Yeah, it does. But yeah, I've heard lots of people with oral cancer since. I don't know if COVID has accentuated it or not, you know, because they say it's a smoker drinker's cancer, but I didn't do either. And it was just after I had COVID and I had the sore throat that wouldn't go. Might have been a coincidence, I don't know. But I hear more and more cases of oral tongue cancer now than I've never heard of it in my life before. But maybe I, only hear about it now because I had it and it sort of pricks up, a little thing. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I have I have to go to have another CT scan in January for that nodule. And I do have a huskier voice than I used to have, but I just had the virus from hell when I was away. So I'm not going to read too much into that. But, you know, it's always there at the back of your mind. What is this? You know, why? Why am I always husky now? I never used to be. So, yeah. Well, I hope it all goes well for him. You know. Cheers, guys. Last bit. It's cold now. It's not that great. How on earth do you Americans drink cold tea? I just don't know. Iced tea. What? Do you know, I went into a shop once and I thought I'd picked up a Coke and it was Lipton's iced tea. Shocked me that there could even be such an abomination. So what? It's like, why? Why would you do that to me? It's a bit of a rude awakening, especially when you're expecting a Coke. A small lump at the base of your tongue. It was very sore and swollen, but it's down again. Don't smoke or drink. If it's like that, I used to get a little infection. You know that little bit that kind of anchors your tongue. I used to get lumped there. And I realise now it was eating things I'm allergic to that caused this. So I don't eat them anymore. Even though they are, you know, some of them are my most favourite things. So now if you look at my cup, all the lightning has gone and it is totally black. So you get the light underneath, but all of the lightning around Marty in the car is gone. Gary got one. He got the Jaws. Was it Jaws? I want to say Jaws. I think he got Jaws. Which we haven't seen yet. When it gets hot, we'll have to do that one. But yeah, what was I going to say? I can't remember what we were talking about. When 100 degrees Fahrenheit, a cold drink appeals. But tea, really? I mean, a cold fruity drink or a cold Coke or tea. What? Can't even dip biscuits in that. You know what I mean? It's tea, and it shocked me. It did. I couldn't believe it. It was like, oh, you picked up a nice tea. It was like, because I went, oh, this Coke's off. No, it's iced tea. What? Why? Why would anybody do that? Yeah. I know. It's what you're brought up with and what you're used to and everything else, but, you know, tea. It should be hot. I can't do iced tea. No. No. You don't like cold tea. I think it's got to taste different, surely, than just cold tea. I think, you know, obviously it's black, for one thing. I can remember it had some kind of lemon. It must have been cold, like iced lemon tea that I picked up by mistake. I don't know if they're all like that. I never had one again. You love iced sweet tea. It's what we all drink here in the United States. I wonder what it tastes like warm. Hot, should I say. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off and upload this here, let the replay go and do all my stuff because I have to help Gary with the dinner. We're having steak today. Only because he bought these little salmon cutlets and I said you should eat them today, but the steak has today's date on it, so we're definitely going to have that first. So thank you for watching and spending your afternoon with me. I really didn't know what to do today video wise, and I just thought, oh no, I haven't done a live stream for ages, so I'll pop on and do it. And I went into Tiago's last night and I thought he has a lot of fun doing his, and I used to do that all the time, of like fun raucous live streams, but I got out of the habit. And but he's got his voice changer and all sorts of things. So I'm going to put a link in the description box to all of the streams and channels that I've been watching lately for my UFOs. Well, they're not UFOs, they're space. So there's Ray's Astrophotography, and he shows a lot of really lovely galaxies, and he follows 3i Atlas. And then there's the Angry Astronaut, and Dobsonian. Dobsonian is, Thiago's my favourite. He really is. It's cool, man. I love him. Okay, so thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now. Bye, guys. Bye.